How can we reconcile science and spirituality with respect to the existence of God? Science can't prove that, science cannot address the question of God's existence. Spirituality can't prove God's existence. Yeah, a good question. Actually, science, as it is used today in most operational purposes, it is a search for natural explanation for natural phenomena. That means natural means material. Science looks for material explanations for material phenomena. So science casts a net at nature to catch knowledge about nature. Now, suppose somebody goes for fishing and they have a fishing net which has holes of say 1 inch by 1 inch. Now, if there are any aquatics smaller than 1 inch by 1 inch, then no matter how long the fishing net is cast, those aquatics will never be caught. So similarly, when science casts a net at nature to acquire knowledge about nature, this net of knowledge that science casts is it looks for material explanations for material phenomena. And that's why anything that is non-material will slip out of the net of science. As you rightly said, science cannot make any statement about the existence or the non-existence of God. Because God, by definition, is non-material. So, now while we say that science cannot directly prove, the way mathematical theories are proved, science cannot prove the existence of God. But still, there are valid inferences that are possible. So, if we consider that there is no God, then the question of origin, where did everything come from, comes. Now, we may use big complex terms to explain the atheistic origin of the universe, the atheistic origin. Now, but essentially, what does it boil down to? Nothing existed because of nothing. Nothing exploded because of nothing. And nothing gave rise to everything. This is the atheistic story about the origin of the universe. Nothing existed because of nothing. Nothing exploded because of nothing. And nothing gave rise to everything. This is very rational, isn't it? So, actually, there is no rationality at all to this explanation. On the other hand, if we consider that we see in nature, nothing ever comes from nothing. Everything comes from something. So, then if everything comes from something, then each thing comes from something else. So, where does this causal chain stop? Now, wherever that causal chain stops, that starting point should have the potential to manifest everything, what we see over here. So in the observed reality, we see material things and we see conscious beings. So the source of everything should have consciousness, should have matter as the potentiality, also needs to have consciousness. And that source of everything is what is called as God. So if we consider God as some image that we see in a temple, or as some character that we see in some TV depictions, then we say, hey, how can this person, I don't believe this person is God. Actually, if we want to start in a philosophical way, we need to start with definition, not with depiction. Start with the definition. The definition of God is the cause of all causes, sarva karana karanam. And the cause of all causes, what the cause of all causes is, there is no explanation in the atheistic version of the universe, atheistic version of the origin of the universe. But from the theistic perspective, the explanation that the origin is conscious and the origin has potential to manifest everything, this actually turns out to be a much more rational explanation. So the conflict between science and religion comes only when some people especially atheists, they misappropriate science for pursuing their own atheistic agendas. And they say the existence of God is unscientific. But now, God is not a material object whose existence can be either proven or disproven by material science. God is a non-material reality, and therefore science itself cannot make any direct statements about it. And if we understand the scope of the two, that science looks for material explanations for material phenomena, and God is the ultimate non-material reality that sources all the reality that exists, then there is no contradiction between science and spirituality about the subject of the existence of God. Does that answer your question? Thank you. Any other questions? Yes, please.
Actually,